Welcome to The Explainer. All right, let's plug in, turn it up, and decode the sound of, well, right now.
So, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually went looking for new music? I mean, really dug deep. Because, if it's been a month or so, you might already be behind. Things are changing so fast. So, over the next few minutes, we're diving head first into the sounds that are defining 2026. We've dug through all the latest industry reports to pull out the key trends you've got to know about. So, what does early 2026 even sound like? Well, the biggest thing you need to know is this. The old boundaries, they're just gone. We are living in a post-genre world, and that means thanks to things like streaming and just being connected globally, artists are grabbing influences from literally everywhere. Honestly, you can think of the music scene today as this huge, vibrant collision. You've got these massive pop superstars with their super polished cinematic sounds, and they're crashing right into these viral hits that, just blew up from a 15-second clip on social media. It's a world where, really, anything goes. All right, so let's get specific. Who's actually sitting on top of the charts at this very moment? And who's wearing the crown? Well, it's probably not going to surprise you. The #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100, it belongs to a very familiar face.
Yup, Harry Styles is back on his throne with his latest single, Aperture. It's a follow-up to the monster hit that was Harry's House, and critics are saying it's some of his most ambitious stuff ever, blending that psychedelic pop with these huge cinematic soundscapes.
And you want to talk about dominance? Taylor Swift is just continuing her historic run. Her latest album just secured an absolutely incredible record, a #1 hit every single year from 2019 all the way to 2026. That is 7 straight years at the top. Wow. This right here is a perfect example of how one single event can just set an artist's entire catalog on fire. Just look at the difference in Bad Bunny's streaming numbers before his big Super Bowl performance and after. It is a massive, massive surge. It just goes to show you the incredible power of a stage like that. So what this all shows us, right, is that the charts today are really a snapshot of all these different forces at play. You've got your pop royalty like Styles and Swift. You've got the huge event-driven hype like we saw with Bad Bunny. And then you have these amazing viral organic hits like that soulful anthem from Olivia Dean. And this whole blending of sounds, it's not just for the top of the charts. It's actually creating brand new genres that are just exploding into the mainstream. Okay, so one of the buzziest new sounds out there is something called PluggnB. And it's the perfect example of this hybrid world we're talking about. It takes that atmospheric, kind of hazy vibe from trap beats and blends it with the super smooth, soulful melodies of classic R&B. And artists like Lil Uzi Vert and Tyla, they're taking it to a massive audience. And really, it is not just one sound. We are totally in an era of hybrid everything. I mean, we're seeing this huge country music renaissance. Latin music is still a global powerhouse. And we're even seeing these cool niche sounds like 1950s soul and Japanese city pop getting a whole new life for a new generation. This actually brings us to a really interesting tension that's happening in music production right now. See, on one side, you have listeners who are absolutely craving organic sounds, real instruments, raw, authentic storytelling. But then on the other side, you've got AI, and it's not a gimmick anymore. It's become this incredibly powerful tool for polishing and perfecting a final mix. So it's this constant balancing act, right? Between that raw human emotion and a kind of technological perfection. So with all this new stuff happening, how do we put it all in context? Well, let's try to connect some dots between today's biggest hits and the all-time classics. I mean, when you look at lists from giants like Rolling Stone or Billboard, they pretty much all agree on these. These are the songs that are just woven into the fabric of our culture. You go from the soul-shaking power of Aretha Franklin's Respect all the way to the raw generation-defining anger of Nirvana. These are the anthems. They set the standard. And what's so cool is you can draw a direct line from those classic anthems right to the new classics of this century, like Kendrick Lamar's All Right, and then all the way up to what's topping the charts today. Each one perfectly captures its own moment in time, but it's also building on the legacy of everything that came before it. Okay, so let's bring this all home. How can you actually use this to build a playlist that feels both super current and totally timeless?
The secret really is a balanced mix. We're calling it the Big Three formula. So first you need what we call the trendsetters. Those are the songs that are blowing up the charts right now. Then you've got to add in the hidden gems. These are those up-and-coming indie or underground artists. The ones who are gonna be tomorrow's superstars. And finally, you need to ground the whole thing with the anchors. Those are the undisputed, gotta have 'em all-time classics.
And hey, don't forget, in 2026, the best new music is popping up in some pretty unexpected places. Your next favorite song? It's probably not going to come from the radio. It's way more likely to pop up in your Spotify algorithm as a trending sound on TikTok, or even from some super niche playlist from a scene you've never even heard of.
And all of this leaves us with one final big question. In a world where there are infinite trends and they seem to burn brighter and faster than ever before, what is that secret ingredient? What turns a fleeting viral moment into a truly timeless anthem? What's the magic that makes a song last forever?